Tensei. Well, actually, I've kind of spoken to him, but I'm not very familiar about his judging. I'm not gonna. I've actually never heard about this.
Well, I guess we could just record it. So I got Madoka. You got who?
All right, man. I got Ellain Beloc.
I bet. So I could start scaling first.
All right, bro, for sure.
So my character's abstract. I'm assume you know the scan.
What is abstract to you?
Just non-physical, no longer spatial or temporal.
So a spatial and atemporal.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got skins for that?
Yeah, since scans chat.
Why is Vami muted?
Yeah, my nigga, bro.
This shit's fire.
Is this right
bro.
here? Is this the one you just said?
Yeah, the ones in scans chat.
Oh, for sure. Let me read it. It's right to left, right? Was this the manga?
Yeah, right to left.
All right, for sure.
Something like that. Yeah, it was good, Mona.
What's up?
Yeah, can we like, and then like, can you like, you want to like debate your point too, or can we end it off on this point and get judgment for this point?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, shit. I'm sure
y'all should
when we get there, we'll cross over
debate and not end it off of like 1 point, bro. That's not a cross.
It's because of his position, bro. It's not gonna.
I mean, we good. And right here, I'm not sure where it mentions them being a concept or not concept,
right
but abstract person.
Well, they say that on the bottom of the scan, they say that you'll never be able to affect the world again, and you'll no longer be a part of the universe. I think they're just saying that the universe is just the physicality and like everything that's physical. And they're just saying the character shifts up a level and no longer exists under that physicality or physical level. So they're saying the character moves their physical parts.
So as far as it's saying that you will never be able to affect the world, obviously we understand when people refer to a world, it refers to, plenty of things, right? There's not exactly a specification or measurement that we can go off of, at least with just the context of this scan alone, that would infer that they're referring to just some part of like physicality or some part of, temporality. As far as them saying that you will never be or no longer be a member of the universe, what exactly do you think that means? What do you think that infers?
Yeah, they're saying that.
Because when I get from this, oh yeah, good.
Yeah, because if they're following from because when I say right to left, I really just mean left to right. Because if we're following from what they say at the top,
what?
Yeah, like it's left. It's like right to left. Like my fault, left to right, left to right. Because if we're following,
I thought this is a manga.
I don't know. I don't know how mangas do they shit.
What?
I'm pretty really.
I don't read manga game, but anyway.
Tomfoolery, bro. Careless about.
You said what?
I did something similar,
but reading from bro.
Now I'm not gonna lie. Whatever you just said, I did not hear it because my internet decided to just like pierce itself.
But judging from what the top of the scan is saying, they're saying the existence that is you will shift up a level, only becoming a concept. I think, at least semantically, it's kind of incoherent or just inconsistent to say that the character would still be physical after shifting up a level. So they're saying that the character shifts states and just changes.
Well, there are different parts of our existence, though, that we can measure. So I think it'd be even more ignorant and less parsimonious to assume that they're only referring to a level of physicality, because this could be referring to any part and aspect of our existence. Obviously, as we exist and as we live, our existence is very compositional.
Okay,
and it has many different parts that it can refer to. So contextually and semantically, if we just pick this apart, there's going to be a lot of different contexts and conclusions that we can come to that are still just as grammatically accurate as one another. So there's going to have to be some form of parameter that really makes, your conclusion more unique from the rest.
Can you give me an example? Like, can you exemplify your
of shifting up a level in your existence? That could apply to getting a job. That could apply to getting faster. That could apply to you having better sight. That could, refer to, your body becoming more healthy. That can refer to many different levels of shifting up a level, because generally when people refer to shifting up, that either is referring to physically going up, to which you can offer the possibility that his existence is literally being elevated up in direction, or you could infer that it's referring to something positive, such as a promotional thing, or some kind of evolution.
Well, first of all, I think that position doesn't have as much motivation as just saying that when we use the word concept, we're just talking about a mental expression. I think every textbook definition you could ever look up the term refers to a concept as a mental expression, and they don't correlate it with physical things. That's what I was saying. Hold on.
I actually think it'd be less parsimonious to go with that.
Hold on. We can get into your kind of parsimony after. I'm just saying that it's less inconsistent to say that. Well, when they're talking about concept, they're just talking about another form of the same form. Like they're just changing the like. For example,
Another form of the same form. What are you talking
no.
about?
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Like imagine I went to the store and got a haircut, right?
Okay. You got a haircut?
My fault, bro. Somebody just came in my fucking room, bro.
No, you're good, bro.
Damn the fuck. Like imagine if I went to go get a haircut, and then you would say that, well, at least analytically, I'm different from the state I was before. Like for example, I did have a haircut. No, I don't have.
Yeah, something changed about the event.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not what I'm disagreeing with.
No, but listen, the point here is that you still have one of the same properties. Like you still share this. You still share mutual properties, mutual traits. There's not much of a
mutual properties and traits with what?
The being, the fucking being, like the fuck.
No, with yourself.
Yes.
I mean, duh. That's going to be something that's trivial to the idea of altering an event.
If you grant that, then you concede to the idea that the character just has some traits. They're just shifting.
No one disagreed with that. What's disagreeing is that your idea of what is shifting up. You said shifting up concludes uniquely to the idea of him no longer being a part of spatiality, which I have told you there's not enough context or evidence to imply that. Your burden here and your commitment was not just to changing or shifting up. In fact, me offering multiple different potential ideas from that, each and every idea that I've mentioned was just another form of shifting up. I'm afraid that you have not been tracking at all what I've been saying. I still want you to prove that this leads to him being aspatial, because there's many other ideas and implications we can have besides him being aspatial here.
I'm literally
from him shifting up.
When we use the word concept, we wouldn't be in reference to some job or something you're talking about. The position
yes, we can. Concept doesn't just.
Okay, and
it refers to jobs, and it refers to ideas, and it refers to different things.
But they're not in the context of jobs. They're not referring to jobs. They're just referring to.
How do you know what they're referring to? What research points to this or data points to this?
They're talking about the forms he takes. Like,
you understand that getting a job, and being jobless and unemployed is a form, dude. Catch your breath for a second.
Bro,
like, do you think that you being unemployed is the same person you were when you're employed?
Okay, listen, I'm saying
do you think there's no altercation of that event or personhood?
Bro. I'm saying your point only really makes sense in the context of only vague or minor.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm saying I disagree. That doesn't make sense.
I know you disagree with the argument. I haven't given the argument yet, though. Can you stop?
How then? What do I disagree with if you haven't given the argument? Are you retarded? And you definitely have given the argument, and that's what I've been disagreeing with the entire time.
This is bullying.
Bro, you're weird, bro.
This is bullying.
You disagree with my position, but you don't understand the argument I have for the position.
What have I? Okay, well, how did you even infer that? What have I done to let you know that I have not understood? When have I strawman you?
Yeah, okay, so let's spice this up. Yo, Archie, so what if I say my character has infinite speed?
Bro, official, can you shut
Then
up?
I'd say that my character can teleport, so that doesn't matter.
Why is nigga official micing up my nigga?
And that she's outside of spatiality, so speed wouldn't even be a factor.
You say, okay.
Yo, Archie, what character?
Well, I don't think that matters. I haven't like fictional verses and their fundamental rules, because they could differ from the norm.
What rules do fictional verses have? Because I've not seen any research that points to some rule of fictional verses.
It depends on what's affirmed. Yeah, so it depends on what's affirmed.
I'm just saying this.
Affirmed by who?
By the author. They make what it is.
Yeah, so would this mean that this is only something that applies to certain fictional circumstances?
No, not really. In a crosswords debate, we usually just apply what's affirmed in a specific rule set as to how.
What are you talking about, bro?
If you're saying this is usually the case, then wouldn't that mean there's something unique about cases that are usually it rather than the outliers that are not it? That seems to be referring to some type of specific circumstance.
By the way, I said this.
Devami, chill.
By the way, I
can agree maybe, but I don't know definitively. So I guess I would say generally I'm just applying probability. I'm just saying in most
this one, I wouldn't have an issue with this, but the only reason I do have an issue is that when we think of probability, probability is just the measurement of the potentiality of an event. And I have not seen any research that measures accurately that majority of the time this is how the rules operate.
Official is so retarded.
I mean,
bro.
yeah, we could just appeal to like cross-verse debates on YouTube. Like we usually always
What
appeal
are you
to different
talking
mindset.
about?
For like
Oh yeah,
listening
official,
to
bro. Just
Um,
let
like
Careless
adult
debate. Y'all
stuff.
could
Like
I
literally, like
actually,
you cut my debate off to say
I'm just
bullshit.
replying because I don't want to duck. But I'm just saying,
Well,
like,
yeah,
I don't think
no.
there's
Careless
enough
debate
data
was
on
ass.
YouTube to
Careless
confirm a
debate was
majority
ass.
in the
bro, I'm not
census.
gonna lie, bro. Official, you
Yes,
suck,
there
bro.
is.
We don't
Yes,
want to
there
hear
is.
you
Okay,
debate.
so yeah. Okay,
We
so if
don't
I
want to
could,
hear
I
you
could
debate,
apply like,
bro. Mute him.
I
Mute
could
him.
apply like a set size. Like if you disagree, if you
Mute
disagree
him.
with like,
Mute him.
what sample size
Mute
would
him.
you not disagree with?
Like,
I would ask you.
I'm about
Because
to
if I could provide like 5 or 10
I
or something
mean,
like that,
so
and I
a
think
sample size that
Yo,
shows more than
official, can you
60% of the
shut
events
up?
that go on.
like literally, like he cuts niggas debates off to say bullshit. We don't want to hear you, my nigga. The fuck?
Yo,
All right.
Mono, put that in
Okay,
the
well,
official
since gone, I'll
send
address
me,
you,
Bro,
man.
I ain't gonna
Careless.
lie.
What
Yo,
skin did
your
you say?
mic is not you're leaving.
Wait,
Got his
listen.
Yeti.
Wait, hold on. I think I already gave enough like credence for the point, but I'm gonna
He
just
got
say.
his Yeti, yikes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say? You said you sent another skin?
Yeah, I sent another scan. Like,
What does it say?
well, yeah, well, concepts. If you like heard what I was talking about, concepts and how I define a concept, they say the concept is eternal, and I think if a concept is like physical, just doesn't adhere to space and time, yeah, it would have to be it would have to be eternal. And
Where
then
does
they
it
say
say
that
that the concept is eternal?
yeah,
Is eternal the definition that you're
right
using?
there. They say it right there. Eternal just never has a beginning, never has an end, just always continues to go on.
It says an eternal stretch of time, and time implies, finity or whatever it's called. Just that's finite.
No one
So
disagrees with that.
because
But
time
they're
cannot
just saying
purposefully or always go on. So
they're just saying
that seems to be an
character-
oxymoron, no?
No, they're just saying the character
No?
is forever.
But how can you be forever in time? Do you think time is infinite?
No.
So if you don't think time is infinite, then how can it stretch eternally? That's an oxymoron, performative contradiction.
Bro, listen, when we say time, there's nothing wrong with conjuncting eternal things and just using the idea.
Where's the conjunction?
The conjunction is them literally saying eternal stretch of time.
What do you think a conjunction is? Because to me, a conjunction is just a word that connects words, phrases, clauses, or sentences. And I don't see any word in the sentence here.
That nigga Mike Majestic.
The combining of two ideas. Like the fuck.
Well, okay. I guess if that's the case that you're trying to use it, that's fine. But it says of time. So it seems rather than combining it, it seems that it's encompassing it. Because it's saying it's of this. It's saying that this is something that is, in a sense, parasitic, conditional to it. That's why there's the usage of the operator or not or, but of. That's what of means. What do you think of means?
What are you talking about? How was your point?
It says of time.
Oh, what are you?
This is expressing a relation between a part and a whole.
Bro,
if you want the definition of it, then I can send it in your DMs. Or not DMs, but scans.
I'm just not understanding how it's counterintuitive.
Well, the reason why it is because when you're referring to something that's a conjunction, you're implying that these things are equivalent of each other and just connecting of each other. But rather than that, this is expressing a part and a whole, not two equivalent parts.
Do you just want a different scan?
You can if you want, but yeah, I don't see how this refers to your definition.
So,
this seems to just be
contradictory. So listen, the other skin could just be like credence for the whole point about her being non-physical. This skin could just talk about the eternal point.
So I'm sorry, this scan what? I didn't hear you.
The scan I just sent can talk about the eternal point. They say that with this, your life will have no beginning or end.
So that means it never started and it never ended?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've always existed. Who?
Yeah, and then again, that's
so why does it say will then? That seems like it's beginning something.
What?
What do you think the word will refers to?
Yeah, there's context behind it.
Okay, what's the context behind it? Because to me, will means that it's referring to a future event.
The context behind it is that the events leading up to the scan, they're basically saying that the entire verse is just rewritten. So they're basically saying that.
So that means it has started?
So can you stop? So to continue off of that, they're basically saying that, we can accept the events of like what happened in the prior scans, or like I guess the prior events prior to this scan. But they're basically saying that Madoka became a concept, but she's always been a concept, so they're gonna have to rewrite.
That's a contradiction. If she has always been a concept, then she has never became a concept.
No, you're retarded, bro.
You could say I'm retarded, but that's literally how words work. That's a semantical contradiction.
I could clarify. Like they literally say that. Hold on. They literally say in the same verse that the laws are being rewritten. So, like for example, imagine. Stop, like breathing and like hiccoughing, whatever the hell you're doing. So, for example, imagine the timeline being rewritten. Like, imagine I have a set of events where you go to the store, and then I were to rewrite same said timeline, and I were in timeline B where the events are different. You don't go to the store.
So that implies linearity, which means that there is a beginning regardless.
Can you stop? So that implies that reality isn't the same. They're just changing it. It's just different.
So again, that implies linearity. If you're going back or you're going to the future to alter something, or if you're altering something on such a level, that means it's a linear timeline.
Never existed. Period. That's literally the implication.
Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. That's not a commitment that I have to agree to that would make me drop my stance.
So if you
that can still operate within a linear timeline.
So if you don't care to give credence to your argument, we can.
That's not at all what I said. So that's it. You're tracking issue number 5. I said I don't care about that because that's not a commitment that I have to agree to drop. I can still agree to that while still following that it's a linear timeline.
You're not understanding my point. Like the fuck.
Right. Right, yeah, of course. So go ahead and clarify your point since I'm clearly so ignorant here.
You want to conclude, bro?
So I'm not getting your point, but you want to conclude and not be understood.
Bro, listen, I think
that makes sense.
Sarcastic, you understand the point. You're just not willing.
You're saying that I'm being sarcastic, but I'm just outlining what you're doing. Like you're not making as much sense here.
He's over here tenderizing Careless. He's tenderizing him.
Official, everybody hates
I don't
care if everybody hates
me. You have the stage. Just go ahead and explain it.
And he's like,
they can't beat me though. They can't beat me though.
Bro, you suck. I can beat you. You're not good. You're no competition. You're baby food. Go on mute, bro. Please go on mute. You are baby food, bro. You suck.
Dude, you have the floor, bro. Just explain.
All right, so going off of like what I was saying earlier, I'm gonna just repeat it. So basically, we have timeline 1, Madoka before she became a concept. Now, what I mean by before is, yeah, sure, like before this wish was granted, but in this case, every event that happened in timeline 1 where Madoka, before she became a concept, is entirely erased. That concept, that whole timeline is meaningless. This is the new timeline. So it's as if when this wish was granted, reality itself is just reversed. Madoka has always been a concept. It's always been abstract. There's never been a singular time where she hasn't been
that. Okay, so I'm gonna reference. Each of that you used tensed words that refer to a previous or past event. That's still contradictory with eternal, right? You're saying there's a timeline 1 that's in that event in itself is giving a positive integer, so you're still applying some kind of mathematical linearity to it. You're saying this happened before, so that's in itself referring to a chromatic event that has is in the past. You're saying now there's a new timeline, but now it was reversed. You understand? You're still applying time in finite concepts to what you're saying while trying to explain why it's eternal. You're contradicting yourself.
Grace's razor. You want to conclude?
What do you think Grace's razor is?
Like you're going by what I literally mean, but not by what I gave you.
That's weird. So I'm going by what?
You're going by what I literally mean, but not by what I actually mean. And
so you understand the literary meaning of what you're saying is what you actually mean, right?
Bro, when I mean before, I don't actually mean in accordance with like temporal events.
So what do you mean by before then? Clarify what you mean since I misinterpreted
what I mean by before is like how it's like narratively perceived, like how it's narratively shown.
So when you say before, you're saying how it's narratively shown.
I can give you an example. Like
that's what before means to you? How it's narratively shown?
Yes, you can use before in the context of a narrative. If I were to flip the page, one page back.
So if I said it happened before, I'm saying it happened narratively shown. Do you think that's grammatically correct?
There's nothing counterintuitive about it. Yes, you can use it in that context.
Oh wow.
Wow. I can't.
So wait, so let me get this right. So if you're saying so if I say, yeah, I've done that before, and I say, yeah, it's narratively correct, you think that's grammatically accurate? Like that doesn't cross any red flags for you.
Do this like semantical shit is
we're talking about semantics here, so naturally we're gonna get into it. I mean, I'm not sure why this is such a surprise to you.
About the way I'm using before. Bro.
I mean, I've just labeled something counterintuitive about it.
No
one is going to use it like that.
I'm not in reference to the temporal effects or the temporal events inside of the verse.
Well, so what do you reference before has? Because you defined before
Are you dead ass?
Yes, you can use
it's
before in that context. But what I'm
just explaining why that's weird.
This
though.
nigga just said there's nothing unintuitive about you saying apple and you meaning that I just fucked your mama. What, nigga?
Bro, that's just an idiosyncratic definition. No one wants to build.
No, it's not.
So what the fuck is yours?
That's not analogous.
That's not. Oh, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's not analogous because no one thinks apple means whatever the fuck. You just that just comes from your mouth, bro. You're retarded, bro. And that's
Listen,
not
man.
That is
if
such
you feel so confident,
if
you feel so confident in your definition of before, and you feel like you've properly justified your position, you can go to conclusions.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Archie. Hey, so you think this Careless guy is better than me?
From what I'm seeing, no. But hey, I'm just one person, so I wouldn't take it to her.
Okay,
but no, I don't think so.
I would just check. I don't know. He just has this delusion.
Official, you suck.
Yeah, maybe you guys will have to run it after.
Oh my god, official, you suck. Official don't want to make.
He's gonna even understand the semantics. Oh yeah,
I'll talk to Ryan, man. But listen, shout out to Ryan.
You learned how to debate on a Google Docs page.
Yeah, we can debate.
Please quit debating.
Yeah, wait, careless. So you asked for conclusions, so
yes. Let's conclude. So you want to get my conclusions? And we just
sure.
All right, bet. So my conclusions for the entire point, I think my opponent just didn't understand my point. I think I gave enough motivation behind the argument and the proposition. I explained to him how when they're talking about when we use the word before, we're not saying that in a literary sense that she became a concept, but rather how they're narratively showing and displaying the events to us. We're just saying that, well, temporal events set 1 is no longer here. We're in temporal set 2. So they're basically saying that the events that happen in temporal event 1 is no longer here. We're in temporal event 2. And then this is shown because the verse literally says that the entire verse, the narrative itself is being rewritten because she became a concept. And he's trying to say like, well, semantically that's counterintuitive because of what it means to be before, how to use before, and that's just Christ's razor. And he's just misinterpreting what I'm saying.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, my conclusion is that he contradicted himself, so his point didn't make much sense. Okay. Now is that just your win con? You want me to start now?
Yeah. My position is my character don't lose.
Yeah, this is
okay. So basically, right? My character is just completely outside and beyond of concepts, so my character transcends you. Do you want evidence for that?
What do you consider above to be? Like, what do you think that means?
I think it means to transcend something.
Okay, so, but from the way we use transcend, it implies that your character is a level above it. But
no, not just a level. It can mean limits above. Just any sense of being above. I actually never verified.
What does it mean to be limits above concepts? What does that mean?
Sounds like I mean, what else would it mean? I want you to take those words all denotatively as accurate as you can.
As long as your character can't affect the concept, I don't really care what you consider it.
Oh, it can. It just levels above it.
Well, I think that's contradictory.
In what way does it contradict? What rule set does it contradict something?
If you're saying your character can go through change in a sense where they can affect my character that can go through change, I would just say, like, what is it with that?
And what set of rules does that contravene?
The 3 laws of thought.
Okay, which law of thought? Yeah. Which law of thought does that contravene?
The law of non-contradiction.
Oh, wow. Really? What do you think non-contradiction says?
It says that you said what the law of non-contradiction says.
Yeah.
Biggest presupposition of all time.
Yeah, it says that like P is P, it can't be P is not P. Like the negation can't be.
Right. So, and can you point out of what logical condition within my statement refers to P is not P? Is it has like P is P?
What do you mean by that?
What logical condition in my statement refers to that?
Wait, are you
like there has to be some condition that follows that? You understand that, right?
Are you saying the argument or like the verse rejects logic? Is that what you're saying?
So do you know what a statement is?
Yeah, so he.
Yeah, I know what a statement is, but you're being
clearly I'm referring to the statement I made that you said violated the rule and contravened with the rule of non-contradiction.
Yeah, it does. Like the implication.
Really? Obviously, you think that. I'm asking, what statement did I make The
statement you made is that they can affect concepts. That's what you said.
Yeah. So clearly, what of it in that concept contradicts each other? What truth condition about that contradicts another?
Because what it means to be a concept is not to go through change. Your character can affect this thing. And
that's not what it means to be a concept. That's not even how concept is defined.
That's how, bro. Are you retarded, bro?
Okay, you can call me retarded all day, but you'll never be able to get any piece of diction that refers to it as being non-changing. You will never be able to get me a diction that states that.
Bro, if you're trying to give some different kind of concept, that's not what I'm saying. I don't care, bro. But
again, that's never what you said. You in fact never defined it that way. Never once in your scans did you define it that way. This is a completely new topic, or not topic, but point you're trying to bring up.
Engaging is what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying that if you're affecting what I consider a concept to be something that's non-physical, cannot go through change, and you're the one.
So you never said it can never go through change. In fact, nothing you said refers to it not going through change.
You saying it's true that you can fucking affect concepts. I want you to give evidence.
That's not a contravenance. So to contravene something. Okay, what do you even know what contravene means? What is can you spell contravene?
What the hell?
That's not how you spell contravene. Can you spell that?
Oh my god, bro, this is irrelevant.
I didn't think so. So how about you sit back and let me explain what contravene means, since clearly you've never been familiarized with that word. So that just means to oppose a principle or law in effect. So if you're saying that I'm contravening something, that means there is some form of logic that I'm opposing, to which in this instance, you said it was the law of non-contradiction. Now what this states is that P is that essentially that it is impossible for P and not P to be true at the same time, right? It's impossible for a statement and its negation to be impossible.
Yes.
Right? So if something has a negation, that means it has a unary operator of a tilde, right? That means it has to be the opposite. There is nowhere in my statement that is saying something is and isn't. Okay? When I'm saying that my character can affect you, I never said on a physical sense. I never even varied what sense. In fact, all I did was say my character can affect you. And if you're going to say that means your character can change, that means not only does your character contradict itself because it would have to change in order for it to attack my character, but not only that, but at the same time, right, this would assume that you defined it that way, which you never did. Okay? Now, if you want to move on from this point, if you want to reference recording, whatever you want, we can do that. But right now you're acting like a schizophrenic monkey who doesn't have his argument in a hold.
I'm saying the subject that you're talking about is
you could catch me in a fast car, NASCAR. I ain't gotta act hard, backyard opera.
I can't hear you, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna give my after this we can conclude, bro.
That's fine.
So I'm saying that the subject of the sentence itself is counterintuitive. The sentence itself and how it's laid out, or I guess mapped out, isn't really counterintuitive because you're not just saying the negation to which you said.
What do you think counterintuitive means?
But, bro, I think counterintuitive, it just goes against itself.
What do you think? Like, you think counterintuitive goes against itself? Nice. What do you think counterintuitive means?
It's like a double-edged sword. It goes against itself, contradictory.
No. That counterintuitive means that it naturally leads into a reductio, right? It's something that's absurd. It's something that's not upon the naturalistic innate order. Now, what is counterintuitive?
Yes. Somebody having the ability to affect a concept is absurd, bro.
That's not counterintuitive, you fucking retard. Your own definition isn't even.
Use the word affect.
Dude, your definition is literally counterintuitive. No one is defining it like that. The consensus does not say that.
I don't.
What do you mean you don't care? You caring about it doesn't matter. This isn't your therapy session. You're here to provide data and facts. You're not here to provide what you care about. You understand it? Like, this is something you have to understand. You can say I'm not engaging, but I'm directly attacking it. Regardless, it doesn't matter what you think.
Listen, it doesn't really matter what I said. I told you what I'm trying to say.
And I just responded to it, you fucking idiot. If you don't want to address that, then that's your own issue, dude. I hate to tell you, man.
If you think trying to give some sort of weird, textbook definition, that's what they say, and you thought that you responded to the argument, we can move on, bro.
Oh man, I definitely have already addressed everything, but again, that's completely fine. I actually am not going to move on just yet, though, because I haven't proved my point, though, that my character can in fact do this.
Because you've been yapping the whole time, bro.
We've been on a previous point. What are you talking about? And you've also been addressing me. Are you fucking retarded?
Obviously, I had a previous point.
You've been literally arguing with me the entire time. Are you a fucking retarded member?
Argument not being a contradiction.
Do you think I've just been talking to myself?
The sentence itself isn't counterintuitive.
Are you schizophrenic?
It's not a contradiction. Are you slow, bro? The terms you're using is a contradiction.
Can you spell contradiction?
The fuck are you talking about?
Can you spell contradiction?
That's not irrelevant. That's irrelevant, bro. Literally irrelevant.
Dude, I doubt you can even count to 5, bro. You don't have the IQ to tell me what's a contradiction or not, dude.
Motivation for
I totally know.
Bro. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Like, you're not expressing how the argument's true. Give reasoning for why.
I definitely have.
Okay, so
it's true because my statement says so.
Explain how can you affect a thing that is not spatial or temporal. Give argument for it, please.
Okay, well, essentially, right? There's a thing that my character can do called existence erasure.
Okay.
To where if anything has the property of an existence, it can essentially, take it out.
Okay, listen.
So that's really
no one disagrees that he has the ability to erase properties. That's perfectly fine.
Who's he?
But if it's an abstract property,
who's he?
I disagree with that.
Who's he? I don't care what you disagree with. I mean, you're gonna have to disprove it regardless, dude.
Okay, yeah, there's evidence for it. You can't affect an abstract thing. Like,
yeah, you haven't made an argument for it. You're repeating yourself.
Yeah, bro, I gave an argument for it. Yes, when we say abstract, analytically, you're talking about non-physical things. You cannot affect.
You can affect something that's non-physical. Wait. Do you think dark matter is physical?
What do you consider like physical things to be? Like, what are the parameters to be physical?
I mean, we could just get at the definition. I don't mind. Definitionally, it says to relate of the body, to have a physiological basis or origin. So something that just refers to natural science.
It's probably physical.
What was that?
If it exists in space, has dimensions, it's probably physical.
Well, it's not actually, because one thing it lacks is naturalistic science interaction. But you do understand exactly it's non-physical. But you understand though, because it doesn't interact at all with light or, electromagnetic radiation.
Yeah, because
this is something you do agree to,
those
correct?
are physical things. Yeah, non-physical.
Okay. So you understand it still interacts with our world, right?
Prove that.
Of course I haven't. I love educating people in physics. Because, your teacher failed to.
So let me get this straight. I'm going to pinpoint the argument. Dark matter is a non-physical substance.
Correct.
It does not exist in space. You're also saying
no, yes, it does.
It does not.
It exists in space.
So, oh my God. Yeah, can we move on?
No, we can't. So it exists in space, and actually, you can go ahead and look it up right here, if you'd like. I don't know why you're crying like a baby. That's kind of weird to me.
Careless, bro. He's making this.
I don't know what effort this is.
Bro,
oh my God.
Here's also some data from the NASA scientist guy right here.
I heard what he just said, bro.
This is right here.
Y'all heard the argument.
So this is the evidence, and these are the citations. So can you debunk it?
Bro, okay, what are you arguing off of that source?
So right now I'm arguing that things that are non-physical can still have interaction with things that are physical. That doesn't serve as a contradiction by any means. I already told you what a non-physical thing means. It means to not have any relation to natural science.
Do you just mean intangible? They don't have physical parts, like material parts?
Well, intangible and non-physical, these words are synonymous with each other. So obviously this would be what I mean.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, to be non-physical.
Really? What do you think intangible means?
Intangible to just not be made of material parts. Like, for example, a ghost can be physical.
Wrong answer. So if you look right here, this is actually the definition of it. Just for clarification for you.
Yeah, that's not counterintuitive to anything else.
Yes, it is, because this actually does not reference being compositional or not. This reference being perceived by senses.
Do you think you can perceive a ghost the same
actually directly says incorporeal? You know what that means, right?
Okay, can you answer the question? Do you think you can perceive a ghost the same way you can perceive an orange?
I've never perceived a ghost because they don't exist.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry, Wi-Fi. Yeah, they don't exist, so I've never perceived one. You're gonna have to.
Okay, exactly. Because obviously, an apple has something you can see, right?
Duh. Is grass green? What's your point?
Can we move on?
This guy's drugged out, bro. What's
Can
your
we
point?
move on, gang? Can we please move on? Because you're not engaging in the argument, bro.
I'm directly engaging with you. In fact, I've already sent scans for my dark matter argument, which is an example of something non-physical interacting with physicality, and you still have not addressed it.
Why can't dark matter just be intangible?
Well, intangible is the same thing as non-physical to me, so I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't care what you consider non-physical to be under my rule.
No, it's not just me. This is also the Cambridge definition, by the way. If you look right here, it literally directly says impossible to touch. What exactly do you think that means?
Okay, you can't touch a ghost. that's not the book of our
I guess. I mean, there's many concepts of what a ghost is. That isn't something that's physically measurable because we can't exactly observe it because they're not real to our knowledge. So I'm not exactly what it is.
It is impossible to touch a ghost because they don't have parts to touch. Yes, they can still exist in space and move. There's nothing wrong with that.
What the fuck are you talking about? Do you think ghosts are real?
Bro, sure they can.
Like seriously, this is a serious question. I'm worried about you. Do you think ghosts are real?
It's not like I don't care to.
Okay, you can say it's irrelevant. It probably sounds like I'm trying to bully you, but I'm not, because you understand if they're not real, that's not something that's physically measurable. So we don't exactly have enough data to confirm an idea on what a ghost is. I mean, we don't even really know what a ghost is. There's so many different concepts of what a ghost is. I mean, there's many issues with what you're saying.
No, listen, under like just words, period, or what it means to be a ghost, you cannot interact with a ghost.
Well, it means many things to be a ghost. Like, we don't have a concrete definition on it because it's a concept that's very controversial.
It's literally just analytically true. You cannot interact with a ghost the same way you can interact.
It can be true by a certain analytical definition, but it's also analytically true that you can, depending on how you define it. I mean, that's just ghost of it in itself is so colloquially used in our term. I mean, you can't really confirm an idea on it. We don't have enough data to form a concrete conclusion on it.
You want to conclude?
Actually, I would not like to conclude because I haven't sent my scan yet. I'm still looking for it.
So after you send the scan, you want to conclude?
Once you've addressed it, of course I would.
Okay.
Of course I would.
Damn, this nigga holding him hostage for the ass whooping is crazy. Man.
Yeah, I gotta prove my points. So first, there's this one right here. You wait a second. I'll send the next one.
Man, you were just getting walked down on every.
Bro, just so you
sound like
this
everything
right here
was wrong.
Like, bro, it's
like you would say something, and then nigga be like, "Nah, that's wrong," and then you get beat the fuck up again and again and again. It's like I don't think you won anything.
Yeah.
Did
If
you
that's
win a
true,
point?
If that's what you think is the case under your optics, that's fine, bro. So the void opens around us. Duma and Masikian, whatever the fuck that means, are completely spent. Even Lucifer, even is drained. But I am filled with a terrible energy.
Mazikin and Duma are the two individuals that are to the left and right of Lucifer and Ellain. Ellain is the girl with the dark black hair, and Lucifer is the blonde guy standing in front of her.
So they exist in the abstract space?
No, they're actually beyond abstraction. They exist in nothing.
Why
at all.
Why is that coherent?
Why is it coherent? Because it doesn't violate or contravene with any grammatic laws. That's why it's coherent. And it's because you understood it. The very fact you understood and it was intelligible made it coherent.
That's not the same thing as classical laws.
Well, classical laws don't actually exist. So that can refer to many things. If you're referring to classical logic, maybe if you're referring to classical grammar,
I mean, I think classical laws.
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
I think classical laws do exist. I can give you an example.
So, what is a classical law to you? Because law refers to many things, and so does classical.
Like, okay, yeah, sure. You want me to justify logic existing? I could do that really easily.
So I'm not actually referring to logic. I'm referring to a classical law. If you're referring to classical logic, that's separate from what classical laws are.
Classical laws deal with logic, bro.
What is a classical law?
Like, I'm literally predicating.
Let's just ask ChatGPT. What is a classical law? Let's see. Classical law. Okay. Interesting,
bro. The law of
so it appears even AI is having trouble to comprehend what exactly you're referring to, because it just gave me an entire plethora of different concepts and ideas if you look here in general chat about what you're referring to.
Okay, I don't care what they're referring to. I know what I'm talking about.
Well, we don't know what you're referring to.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, what classical laws are a reference to the three laws of thought?
Okay, so you're just referring to the three laws of thought. That's completely fine. And why are you referencing them again?
Because I think it's contradictory to affected abstract.
Which law of thought is this contradictory with?
The law of non-contradiction.
You know what? I think that's completely fine because my character is actually outside of logic.
Can you prove that?
What the fuck?
Of course I can. Well, I mean, it states that they exist in nothing at all. Logic is obviously something that refers to something. So since they exist within nothing at all, that means that's not referring to that.
That can prove this can exist. Bro. Prove that's true. Prove it can exist.
I mean, we're observing it. We're literally looking at their existence right here. My skin proves it.
It could just be wrong. It could just be false, not true at all.
I mean, it could be, but that seems to be something that's just a possibility. So do you have the evidence to prove it, or is that just baseless?
It doesn't matter. What you're saying is also possible.
I mean, I think it matters a lot. I think burden of proofs matter a lot. It's really all about what you can prove and disprove, right?
Motivation for referring to what you're saying, then the fuck?
I mean, I already have. The motivation is right there. Actually, I think I am empirically giving you motivation by sending you these scans.
Okay, I'm just saying the scans could be different, bro.
I think they could be, but I've already given preponderance of evidence for why they are. What my conclusion is.
What's the evidence?
The evidence is right there. I mean, you can just simply look right here in scans.
My
Pretty
position
simple.
or my possibility is predicated off of those scans.
Well, so where about my scans infers that?
Okay, yeah, sure. The very idea that the 3 laws of thought do not permit contradictions, and what you said is a contradiction.
My scans don't reference the 3 laws of thought. So I'm asking, what about my scans refer to that? Like, what evidence can you pull from my scans that conclude what
not only are you presupposing illogical things can even exist.
What? I thought you were saying that you got your conclusion from my scans.
Shush. I'm going to just talk over you. First of all, no, that's just a dumb argument. First of all, my point
Careless is that
under the 3 laws of thought, this thing even happening or being the case is just not true. So I'm saying that it could just be go under the 3 laws of thought and just not be the case. Yeah. You're trying to say that illogical things can exist where's the proof of that?
Yeah. So I've already actually addressed this.
I've
given a preponderance of evidence for why this is the case. It says nothing at all that refers to the absence of something. We can observe their existence through the interaction here, quote unquote, because they are in the void.
The interaction could just be
so that interaction is there of it itself. You're saying that it could be, and I'm saying that I agree with you. It could very well not be. But I think I have a more likelihood case for why it is. Given the fact that we are observing it empirically, right? And then you're saying that, for some reason from my scans that you can equally form such a conclusion that's unique of yours. But when I ask you for what exactly about my evidence and what exactly about my scan refers to that, for some reason you have not given any. So now I'm led to believe that you don't actually have one. I mean, is this true?
Oh my God. Repeat that, bro.
I don't think I'm going to. Actually, I think that I'm going to just let you guess what I said since you were screaming like an ape while I was not talking to you.
I don't care to engage in an argument I didn't hear, bro.
That's completely okay. You don't have to.
Because I can just, I could like ridiculous. I can give an argument you didn't hear and just spam shit. You never contended it.
So you could, but unfortunately you haven't.
Prove that. The fuck?
I don't have to prove that. In fact, that's a proposition I'm comfortable not proving because that has nothing to do with my burden of proof currently given the debate.
It's a reductio. So it's just self-defeating to do what you're doing because you're also not.
You can say that it's self-defeating, but I completely disagree. Clearly, we have different priorities.
It's self-defeating because you're also not attacking points. The fuck?
I mean, you can say I'm not attacking points, but I think that's because I'm the one giving the points. I mean, did you forget I'm the one proving my character? I'm giving the
points under the example as well. You're so stupid, bro.
No. You're refuting. You understand that, right? Did you get a little bit lost?
You want to conclude?
I think I'm fine with concluding. I think I'd be completely okay with concluding.
Conversation game.
I suppose so. I guess I'm not. You ready now?
Yeah, we can conclude, bro.
Gotcha. You want to go first or me?
I can go first. So first of all, I think I gave enough preponderance for the argument. I'll explain to you how classical logic says that contradictions just can't be true, can't exist, point blank, period. I'm saying the scan could just go into classical logic and just not be true. You didn't get motivation behind a logical system existing. You didn't explain why the scan is even coherent. You presuppose a logical system, or you presuppose some sort of a logical system and try saying that this could just be in reference to what the scan is talking about. You didn't get motivation for that. In fact, you predicated that whole analogy or example off of the same set scan that I was predicating my possibility off of, or my argument off of. So I just think it's just inconclusive.